Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Guys, hope you will be fine. Mr. Atik is here once again, presenting you the week 12 first lecture. And this week we are going to cover, or we will study unit 4, lesson 1. The pages that we are going to cover in this week ranges from 216 to 223. Remember, we have the last two pages, page 221 and 223, I think. That is like the summary things. Okay, you need to solve those pages. In the next lecture we will solve that thing. First, come to the first lecture. The main topics preview. In this chapter, or in this lesson, we will study how a balanced act came, energy, the need for the speed, why enzymes matters. Okay. In balancing act, how to balance a chemical reaction. Okay, mainly that is what we are going to cover today. Okay, first of all, in the balancing act chapter, like page, we will study law of conservation of mass, which states that the matter can neither be created nor destroyed in an ordinary physical and chemical changes. The state of matters, the liquid, gas and the solids cannot be changed. Okay, they cannot be created nor destroyed, you can say, in an ordinary physical change and chemical change. They need specific physical and chemical things in order to change, in order to brought up change in the matter states. Okay, balancing of equations. Balancing of equations. How an equation can be balanced. In a chemical reaction, the products must be equal to the reactants. This is known as what? The balancing of equations. That in the chemical reaction, the products which comes from the combination of reactants, when two things combines, we call them like reactants. Yes. So the products ratio and the reactant ratio must be equal by figure, by coefficient and subscripts both. Okay, or reactants and products must contain the same number of atoms of each element. Although this is just a general definition, but it can give you a clear gist. Okay, a clear view. The reactants and products must contain the same number of atoms of each element. Remember, consider an example. Come to the example. Carbon plus oxygen molecule. Look at it will yields to carbon dioxide, CO2. When carbon and oxygen combines, they give us what? Carbon dioxide. Now look at, carbon and oxygens are reactants and carbon dioxide is the products. These reactants combines, they form what? Carbon dioxide. Now look at carbon. Here we have only one carbon, plus we have two oxygens, yields to C1. Here we have C1 and oxygen 1. Understand? So CO will form, CO, which is not carbon dioxide. This is carbon monoxide. Okay, now let's balance it. Look at, we are studying what? Balancing act. Okay, act. So we are going to act it now. Now let's balance it. If we take carbon into coefficient, like 2 carbon atoms, and oxygen, so it will give us what? C2O2. So here we can call it carbon dioxide. Look at, so when 2 atoms of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen combines or react, they will form carbon dioxide. Look at what? Carbon dioxide. 2C, like here, 2C plus O2, CO2. Got the idea? That is what? The balancing act. Okay, practice over it is so easy. Okay, Okay. Coefficient and subscripts. Look at in the previous. This 2 is known as what? Coefficient. And this CO2 as a whole is what? The subscript. Now look at how. Coefficient and subscript concepts. In an chemical equation. Okay, now look at coefficients. These are the numbers that is placed in front of the formula. Like H2O is the formula, so 3 will be the subject. Look at 3 H2O, I wrote it down here. So here in front of the water molecule H2O, 3 is written. This 3 is known as what? The coefficient. What? This is coefficient. Okay, this 3 is known as what? This 3, look at. This is what? Coefficient. Understand? And the subscripts are the actual formula symbols. Actual formula symbol like H2O. So H2O is the subscript. Okay. So coefficient is what? We are going to place a number in front of any formula. We call them what? Coefficient. Like 3 H2O, maybe 2 H2O, maybe 4 H2O. This 4, 3 or 2, it will be known as what? The coefficient. And as a whole formula, it is known as what? The subscript. We have page number 17, 217. Consider it and solve it. Okay. I describes the steps for balancing the equation here. Okay. Remember this slide in balancing act is more important for you guys. Now we have energy changing during the chemical reaction. Number 1, energy is absorbed. How energy changes during a chemical reaction? 2 possible things might occur or might happen. Energy will be absorbed and energy will be released. So in the absorbed phenomena, look at a chemical reaction that requires energy. They need energy as an input. Any reaction that needs energy, we call them what? Endothermic reaction. What? Endothermic. They requires endothermic. Therm what? Heat or energy. Endothermic reactions. Consider it. Look at this example. Photosynthesis is an endothermic process. Why? As the plants uses energy in this process from the sun. The plants uses the sunlight. So they need energy from the sunlight. That's why it is what? An endothermic reaction. If this thing came into the exam, that wherever that photosynthesis is an endothermic process or exothermic process, so your answer must be what? Endothermic process. Why? Because it needs energy. Okay. Now another factor, energy is released. A chemical reaction in which energy is released, like they give us energy, is called exothermic reaction. The burning of something that can give you heat, the burning of you can say like tree, the burning of wood, the burning of a candle, it can give us what? Light and heat. Yes. So this is what? Exothermic reaction. What? Let me make it bold for you. Exothermic. Like they give you energy, they release energy. Burning process is the best example for exothermic reaction, as it gives us heat. Understand? Give us heat. So easy topic. You need to focus on carbon and oxygen. When they combine, they form CO2. Reactants and products. Remember, if you cover up the previous lesson, so it will be easy for you guys. Carbon 1 ratio, then O by 2, then CO here 1. So it will make what? Carbon monoxide. Now by balancing it, if we take 2 carbon atoms and combine it or react it with the oxygen, so it will give us what? C2 and O2. Both are balanced. Look at C is 2 and O is 2. So 2C plus O2 can give us what? Carbon dioxide. This is the most important thing. Okay, in the second lesson we will study the remaining stuff. Okay, thank you so much.